Route 96 runs straight through Greenwood County, Kansas for 37 miles. Wheat on both sides. A grain elevator every 10 minutes. And just past the old Hartman place, a barn that nobody has opened since 1985. The neighbors assumed it was empty. The county assumed it was abandoned. It was neither. To understand what is inside that barn, you have to go back to the spring of 1967 to a dealership on the east side of Wichita. David Kessler was 26 years old. He taught 8th grade history at a school off Hydraulic Avenue, and for 2 years he had driven a borrowed sedan with a heater that only worked in summer. But that spring, something changed. A permanent contract, a real salary, the first stable ground of his adult life. And David Kessler did what half the young men in America were dreaming of doing in 1967. He walked into a showroom and ordered a Mustang fastback, candy apple red, 289 V8. It cost him $2,700, about half a year of a teacher's pay. The salesman asked if he was sure. He had never been more sure of anything. He picked it up on a Friday in April. They say you never forget your first new car. The smell of the vinyl, the stiffness of the clutch, the way strangers look at you at a red light. For a history teacher from Wichita, it wasn't just a car. It was proof that the plan was working, that the life he'd promised himself was actually arriving, one payment at a time. For 18 years, the Mustang was not a story. It was just life. Sunday mornings, David washed it in the driveway of the house on Patty Street. The house the car helped him feel confident enough to buy. In 1969, it drove him and a woman named Ruth to Estes Park, Colorado for their honeymoon. 11 hours each way. Ruth drove the mountain passes because David, it turned out, was afraid of heights. He never lived that down. In 1972, it brought their daughter home from Wesley Hospital. Ruth in the back seat, holding a blanket, terrified of every pothole in Wichita. The Mustang carried report cards and Christmas trees. It waited outside piano recitals. It got a dent in the left fender in the parking lot of a grocery store in 1978. And David never fixed it because by then the car had stopped being proof of anything. It was family. In February of 1985, on an icy morning, David Kessler slipped on the steps of Roosevelt Middle School carrying a box of graded exams. 3 crushed vertebrae, 2 surgeries, and a sentence from a doctor that he refused at first to believe. No more manual transmissions. The clutch, the twisting, the low seat. His spine could not do it anymore. That summer they moved to Ruth's family farm in Greenwood County. Easier, flatter, 1 floor. And on the last Saturday of August 1985, David drove the Mustang one final time. 11 miles per hour down a dirt road to the barn behind the farmhouse. He put it up on blocks, drained the tank, covered it with a canvas tarp, the way you cover furniture in a house you intend to return to. Until my back gets better, he told Ruth. His back never got better, and some doors, once closed, develop a kind of gravity. The longer they stay shut, the harder they are to open. 41 years is not dramatic. That is the thing nobody tells you about abandoned cars. There's no single moment when a car becomes forgotten. There are just seasons. The first winter, David checked on it twice. The second winter, once. By 1990, the tarp had a layer of dust so even that it looked intentional. Ruth passed in 2009. David followed in 2014 at the age of 73 in the farmhouse, 30 yards from a car he had not looked at in over a decade, but whose registration he had renewed by mail every single year. Think about that. He couldn't open the door, and he couldn't let it go. The farm passed to their daughter, who lived in Portland and rented out the fields. The barn stayed locked. The county listed it as a storage structure. inside in the dark, the Mustang did what parked cars do. The tires surrendered their air to the decades. Mice moved into the air filter and moved out again. The dust settled, one invisible layer per season, 82 seasons in a row. Waiting is not empty time. Waiting is work. And the Mustang was very, very good at it. In March of 2026, David's grandson Eric flew in from Denver to finally deal with the farm. 29 years old, a structural engineer. He came with a clipboard, a contractor, and a plan to assess the buildings for sale. The barn was last on the list. The padlock had rusted into a single piece of metal. They cut it. And when the doors opened for the first time in 41 years, the light fell on a shape under a canvas tarp. The contractor said one word: "No way." Eric knew the stories. Everyone in the family knew the stories. Grandpa's red Mustang, the honeymoon in Colorado, the dent he never fixed. He had just always assumed it was sold decades ago. They pulled the tarp at 4:20 in the afternoon. The paint had faded, the chrome had dulled. The lower panels wore 41 years of rust like tree rings. But it was complete, untouched. Keys in a coffee can on the workbench, exactly where a careful man would leave them. Eric spent 3 weekends on it. New fuel lines, fresh oil, a battery. The original 289 he refused to touch beyond what it needed. And on his Saturday evening in April, 59 years, almost to the day, after David Kessler drove it out of a Wichita showroom, his grandson sat in the red vinyl seat, pumped the pedal twice, the way the manual said, and turned the key. Eric didn't sell the Mustang. He couldn't. Some cars are not classic because of what they are. They're classic because of what they carried. It lives in Denver now. It gets washed on Sundays. If you can't walk past a rusting old car without wondering about the story behind it, you're one of us. Subscribe. The next story is already waiting in a barn somewhere.